Uh, uh, hello everyone. This is John Jenkins, founder of Battlegans, and this is how you know that I'm not as smart as I assume that I am. This is how you know that I'm not as smart as I assume that I am. So I got into a flame war on YouTube. I commented some pro conservative stuff, and basically, a person tried to disqualify me from being conservative by saying that, because I'm disabled, because I'm schizophrenic. So the person said that, you didn't want to vote for Trump. You hallucinated into voting for Trump. So basically, that's what I said. So basically, to make a long story short, after the Democrats both lost the 2016 and 2024 election, and denied both elections, they started saying that the only reason they lost is because crazy people or disabled people were allowed to vote. That's the setup for this. That's the setup for this. That's the whole point of this video. So basically, they were saying that if basically they were implying that if we make it when the Democrats get back in the office, they were implying that if we make it illegal for people on disability or disabled people to vote, then we would magically never the Democrats would magically never lose an election again. So I should have played into that. That would have been a total ninja move if I had played into that instead of resisting it. If I had played into that, I mean, if I had hammed it up for the cameras, if I had played it up. So uh, basically, uh, uh, basically, to make a long story short, uh, to make a long story short, if the people who are 100% dependent on the government, if the people who are 100% dependent on the government, who would literally die tomorrow, uh, who would literally die tomorrow if welfare went bankrupt. I mean, let's say for example that I would die uh, tomorrow if welfare went bankrupt. Obviously, I don't have a job and I don't have any work history and I don't have any family, I don't have any friends, whatever. So let's say I would die tomorrow without welfare. So if you make it illegal for those people to vote, like, no Democrat would ever win for the rest of human history. No Democrat would ever win for the rest of human history. No Democrat would ever win for the rest of human history. The only way the Democrats could actually win is if they basically turned the Democratic Party into a clone of the Republican Party. That would be the only way that the Democratic Party could survive. There would be no more. There would be actually no more AOCs. There would be no more Bernie Sanders. There would be no more Elizabeth Warrens. There would be no Squad. There would be no Maxine Waters or whatever. There would be no whatever the Democrats have, whatever, yeah. So whatever. So there would be none of that. Uh, so if I had played into that, I could have ninjaed my way into getting what I wanted without even having to fight for it. But I have this ego. I have this low low thinking mentality where I just want to bang my head against a brick wall. But I didn't have to do that. I could just play it into it and let the Democrats have what they want. And like I've said a million times on this channel, conservative values are universal. Conservative values are universal. We've got all these liberals who are being all these socialists who are being Democratic socialists who are being elected into Congress today as part of the midterms for 2026. And it's the blue wave, not this blue wave, the blue wave, the blue wave to end all blue waves. So we've got all these Democratic socialists to win. So AOC has been in Congress for what, a decade now? I mean, she has to have been in Congress for at least a decade now. I don't. She's been in Congress for at least a decade. So AOC's been in Congress for at least a decade. Lord knows how long Bernie Sanders was in Congress before he ran for president. So Lord knows how long Bernie Sanders was in Congress before he ran for president. Obviously, Elizabeth Warren is a new kid on the block. So, so the big three, and you had the big three. You had the squad. You had Maxine Waters. I'm not sure if she's still even in Congress. You had obviously, you had all these big time liberals in Congress. Why wasn't America? Why were there still homeless people? Why were there still hungry people in the United States? If we had the big time celebrity, liberals who were being featured in Hollywood films and being featured in liberal documentaries and being featured on liberal news stations, being interviewed on liberal TV. If we had all the big three, AOC, Bernie Sanders, and Elizabeth Warren, why are there still homeless people in the United States? Why are there still hungry people in the United States? Why are there still uninsured people in the United States? We had I don't remember exactly the congressional makeup when Barack Obama was in office. Obviously, Bill Clinton was a Democrat who had basically a Republican Congress. So I don't remember the situation when Barack Obama was in office. But Barack Obama was a two-term president and stuff like that. So why are there still poor people in the United States if we got the big three liberal congressmen with the biggest celebrity backing of any congressman in history, and the biggest donors for the biggest Democratic donors in history? I mean, you also had Hillary Clinton, who was also a congressman, and the Secretary of Defense. I'm sorry, Secretary of State, and so on and so forth under Barack Obama. So if we had all these big time liberals in office, why are there still poor people in America? So why is there no UBI? Why is there no UBI? If I were to walk up, I'm disabled. I'm schizophrenic. So if I were to walk up to Elizabeth Warren or AOC or Bernie Sanders and ask for my UBI check, they would say, "Brother, you need to get a job." That's what they would tell me. They would look me straight in the face and say, "McDonald's is hiring." That's what they would say to me. So that's what I wanted to say. Is that first of all, without people who have absolutely no choice but to vote Democrat, there would be no Democratic Party unless it basically flip sides again and move to the right, and so there would be no a Democratic Party without disabled voters, and that's the first thing. And the second thing is conservative values are universal. So you know how the game works. Like I said, I'm not as bright as I assume that I am, and so that's just one example. So anyway, have a great day, everyone. Today is the 1st of July, first day of the second half of 2026, and it's really hot in Chicago. So I'm gonna go out and enjoy the rest of the day. So have a great day and goodbye.